What's going on, guys? It's Joe with Hendo Daily, and today I wanted to throw something together real quick for a very last minute gift guide for the EDC person in your life, whether that's a friend, a spouse, a brother, sister, or if you're just looking to buy for yourself. I went through a lot of my collection, all of my collection, and I wanted to pick out kind of two things from each category. So we'll break them down, each one. I'll give you my why I recommend this piece of gear or this knife, and kind of some pros and cons to each of them. So we will start out with the pocket knives because this is the big item, right? So the two pocket knives I've got a definite budget version, and then just a solid, great all around EDC pocket knife. So overall, and this is the Kaiser Mini Militaw. You can get this one on Amazon for about $30. I'll double check, but I'll make sure to link stuff down in the description below. This is honestly this is one knife that I have consistently come back to. And it may not even be like my top favorite. It's definitely in the top 5 for sure, but like this is such a solid knife, and it's got smooth, great action. It's got great lines and great just overall ergonomics and handleability, we'll call it. And it's solid. I mean, and it's D2 steel, and then it's got G10 scales with my Carta inlay on there. I put the lanyard on myself, but I've never had any issues with this knife. It's, you can flick it, you can front flip it. Oh, not like that. That was not good. Front flip it, and then it's got a liner lock as well. And this also I would consider a budget knife as well. I mean, for $30, like, this is really good materials and a deep carry pocket clip. Sorry. Really good materials and just an overall great knife. Like, I have not had any bad experiences with a Kaiser knife, but this one in particular, like I said, I just keep coming back to it, and it ends up in my pocket a lot. So that one I would recommend just on the basis of Kaiser is a great brand, great knife company, and I would recommend anything from them. Anything that I've handled from them, I would recommend. So that's the first one I would recommend. And then on the budget side, and this is a newer knife to me, but it has definitely impressed me and done some good work so far just with the little bit I've been able to use it. The $10 bug out killer from Walmart from Ozark Trail. Again, this is D2 steel, and then I always forget the name of this handle or the material for this handle, but a very cheap, good budget knife. And honestly, it kind of holds up to my bug out as far as the feel of it is. There's definitely a difference between a $10 knife and a $180 knife, but overall, if you just need something to cut open packages, cut open boxes, this is going to do just fine with that. And so for a $10 knife, this can go in everybody's stocking. This can go to anybody that just carries a knife but doesn't necessarily get into knives like the EDC community. They just like to have that tool on them. This is a great option. And like I said, this has really impressed me with the price point and the materials on it. It's been a great knife so far. So that would be my budget, cheap recommendation. You go pick up one of these for everybody in your family, and it's going to do well. Next, we will look at the fixed blade. So I picked one that was more of an EDC friendly, pocket friendly fixed blade, and then one for the outdoor person in your life. So we'll start with the EDC. This again is another Kaiser knife, the Drop Bear fixed blade. This is the black G10, also D2 steel. D2 is probably one of my favorite, not probably, is one of my favorite steels for sure. And the lanyard came with this knife. It was already on there when I got it. It came with the Kydex sheath. This is an aftermarket belt loop attachment. I've done videos on this before, so if you want to check that out. I think this came with a Tech Lock style attachment. I could be wrong, but I want to say it was like a Tech Lock style attachment. But this is such an awesome EDC friendly knife, and it's definitely a 3-fingered knife, and I have medium-ish to largish size hands. but with this lanyard they send on it, like you have a full grip and full purchase on this, and it's great. So you can, throw an ulti clip on here if you want to carry it in pocket. I prefer to dangle my knives from my belt, so that's why I threw this attachment on there. But this thing has cut through, I mean, as much as it can in an office setting. A lot of cardboard. This thing has been outside. I've carved some sticks with it just to see how well it does, and it holds up really well. And it's a good size. Yeah, again, it's just another great quality Kaiser knife. And I'd imagine that a lot of you watching this have already seen this and know what this knife is. And hopefully, I would think agree with how well this thing performs and how good it is. And there's tons of options out there for EDC fixed blades. I mean, that's obviously very, very popular uh, knife style right now. And so this is just one that I would recommend because, one, it's from my collection, so that's why I'm recommending these items. But two, it's just a solid little knife. And I've had, again, no issues. And fixed blade is going to be more durable, more sturdy, no moving parts that could break or get busted up. Maybe a handle scale if you hit it too hard, but then you still have the actual knife itself. So another great option from Kaiser is the Drop Bear fixed blade. You can get these on Amazon as well. There's tons of different variations of them. I just like the all black look on there. So that's for the EDC style. So for the outdoor person in your life, again, it comes down to the brand, but this is one particular that I've had on a lot of camping and hiking trips, and this comes from Essie. This is the SE4, and it has the contoured micarta handles, which just fit great. And this is a good chunk of steel, 1095 steel with the coating on there to help with the corrosion resistance. But this came super sharp out of the box. I've had this for several years now, and this thing is just a tank of a knife. And I would absolutely 100% buy this knife again, and I would buy more from Essie. It's hard for me to not go in to a knife store or look online and not check out a new Essie knife. And they are, I mean, their designs have not changed a whole lot. Like, they have stuck to basically the designs they have now, with a few new knives coming out here and there, but overall have had a lot of the same styles and designs for a long time. And it's because they work, they're reliable, and their warranty is hands down the best warranty. You can send this in 5 different pieces with no explanation, and they will replace it for you, no questions asked. Like, absolutely cannot beat that warranty. And I think at the time, a few years ago, I paid about $120 for this. Maybe, does that sound right? Maybe that's what it is now. My brain's a little fuzzy today, but I know it was not more, if not less than $100. And this thing has just held up so well. Like, it's been just, like I said, a tank of a knife. And so this is my go-to outdoor camping, batoning, just all around great outdoor knife. And I have that same style belt loop attachment on there as well. So this was an aftermarket attachment, same Kydex sheath, pancake style, and it's been great. So if you have a outdoor camping, living in the woods person in your life, I would always recommend an Essie. And they've got everything from smaller fixed blades all the way up to the hungerless, which is essentially basically a machete. So they've got all different sizes, all different colors, variations, and some different steels. Some of these can come with S30 or S35 VN. I've seen on some models, but the 1095 is just so tough, and it's easy to work with and sharpen. So I can't recommend this enough. So go check out an Essie knife for anyone in your life that loves to be in the outdoors. Next, we'll look at the flashlights. So EDC style, Phoenix has always been one of my go-to brands. Olight i3T I carried for a long time, and I love that light. It's a great AA battery flashlight, but for overall EDC purposes, Phoenix PD25R is a great EDC size, very pocket friendly. Clip is strong. It's got a tail cap to turn it on, and then you can rotate through the brightness levels with this button up here. And then that green light on here will tell you the battery level. Essentially, if it's solid green, it's 80% or above. Flashing green, it's like 80 to 50. And then if it's flashing red, it's like 50 to 30. And then steady red, it's pretty much dead. So it's kind of a cool feature on there because it is USB-C rechargeable. If I can get it open. Come on. Basically, oh my goodness, wait a minute. There we go. Basically, this part screws down. You plug it in, same type of charger as your phone, most likely, that Type-C. And then it will illuminate. The light will turn solid green whenever it's charged up. And this battery will last you a long time. I mean, obviously, depending on how much you're using it, but I have very rarely charged this, and I've had this for several months now. So great light, very solid. And Phoenix is just, in my opinion, always had great options and great lights. I have another one of their bigger flashlights that I use for camping, but this is one of my go-to EDC lights. Next up is my newest flashlight and a new brand to me, the Woobin X4, and I did a video on this recently. They sent this out to me to do a review and check out, so go check out that video as well, because I did some outdoor use, like real scenario situations using this light. But this thing is super cool in terms of functionality. It is not just a flashlight, like not just your standard one light flashlight. It's got the side light options. You've got moonlight mode. You've got flashing strobe. You've got color options. In honor of Christmas, we'll get the flashing red and green going. But this thing has so many options and so much functionality compared to just a normal light such as this one. So if you want something that's got a little bit extra to play around with, mess around with, I would definitely recommend this one. And I do have a link you guys can use for a 15% off, and I would definitely check them out. I believe this is $50 on the website. I don't know if they still have any sales going on right now, but this thing has definitely been worth it. It's got a great clip on it. Whether you put it in your pocket, I usually attach it to my belt in my uniform at work every day, or it'll fit on a ball cap. So if you need, hands-free use with your light, this thing has been absolutely incredible. Does come with a magnetic base. I took the magnet out, so let's see, pop that open. Basically, I just unscrewed these little T4 screws in here. That came off, dug the magnet out, and it was good to go. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know why I take the magnets out of some of my gear, all of my gear. But that, if that's not a concern for you like it is for me, having that magnetic base was pretty sweet to have and can be very handy. So Woobin X4 would definitely be one of my highly recommended flashlights. I have really enjoyed getting to use this and mess around with this since I've gotten it, and it's been a lot of fun. I've used it for the flashing beacon as far as like making my presence known walking out on Halloween. I have had it flash in the red light in between streets when it was dark, so it's good for that. This thing lit up my entire backyard and side yard, so it's super bright and powerful. But I would definitely recommend checking this one out. And like I said, I'll have a link in the description below. You guys can go either directly to the website or on Amazon, especially with that 2-day shipping. If you've got it, this thing could be there just in time as well. So that's what we've got for flashlights: Phoenix PD25R and the Woobin X4. And next we will move on to watches. This was kind of tough for me. So I've got a couple of go-to watches, but I wanted to really think about like what would be a good gift. So I wanted to go with something kind of a classic, not like fancy or upscale kind of watch, but a classic looking everyday watch. And this is the Invicta Pro Diver. It's 38 millimeter watch. I've had this for I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. My wife got it for me as a Christmas gift a couple years ago, and it was definitely one of my favorite watches. Still is one of my favorite watches. I love the diver style watch. Yeah, it's trying to take a trying to take a hit off of Rolex look with the design on this, but it is such a nice watch. It's held up really well. I haven't had any issues with it, and I don't know. It just looks really nice. It's light enough that I barely even notice it on my wrist, and I love this classic look of a diver watch. I would say this was probably 75, $80 when my wife got it for me at the time, a couple years ago. But super water resistant down to, what was it, 200 meters. So really good on the water resistance. And again, just a classic looking watch that will go well with anything. And then on the, little bit more of a budget in, but a more customizable style watch is the Casio Royale World Time. This has easily become my favorite watch that gets the most time on my wrist. I love all the different time zones. I just love the look and style of it. I've seen a lot of videos of people customizing and putting color rings in over the screen, but super lightweight. Excuse me. Super lightweight. The design alone is what caught my eye of it. Just having that analog style watch up here with the digital time, the day, the date, and then showing that, globe of every time zone that you can scroll through. So if you look, like, it'll just go through each time zone of wherever you want. And it's just such a sweet looking watch, and super, super cheap and affordable as well. I mean, this was like $40, and it's got a 10-year battery life. At least that's what it says on the face of the watch. And so far, like I said, no issues. And I think it just goes well with a lot of stuff. So those would be my two recommendations for the watches. I really didn't want to pick two silver watches. I wanted to get something else in there, but going through my watches, I love all of them, but these two probably had to be hands down my overall favorites. And then next up, and last but not least, we've got two different types of multi-tools here. So you've got plier-based multi-tools, and this is the SOG Power Pint, and then a Victorinox. This has been one of my favorite multi-tools, both, plier-based and non-pliers. The Hiker, even outside of the design, is one of my favorite multi-tools, and I love that it's got the tweezers and toothpick in there, as well as a big blade, little blade. We've got the saw in the middle, and then you've got the bottle opener and flathead, can opener and little flathead, and then a Phillips screwdriver on the back. And it's just got, as well as an awl. And it's just got all the basic tools you would need to get whatever job done. But then you've also got the SOG Power Pint, and this is what I thought was an overhyped multi-tool for such a long time, until I finally picked one up, and I get the hype now. It's super smooth opening. I mean, you can easily one hand open it, just flicking it around. The pliers are sturdy enough that it's going to get the job done. The rest of the tools, honestly, they're average. I mean, it's not a Magna Cut blade like the Leatherman Arc, but it's got the tools you'll need. It's got the Phillips, it's got a pair of scissors, which I do love on here. It's got a small flathead, it's got a pry tool, it's got a file. What else we got on here? It's got a serrated blade, can opener, little pry tool. I mean, it's got a lot of good stuff on there, and a lot of good tools that, if you're not doing heavy duty work with it, you just need it for those small specific tools. This thing has held up really well, and I would definitely recommend these. These are $50. You can pick one up at Walmart, and it easily fits into the pocket, either your fifth pocket or your jeans. I like to carry it in my back left pocket. But those are the two multi-tools that I would recommend. Really any Victorinox, but the Hiker specifically was my favorite, which is why I picked that up. And the Smoky Mountain Knife Work exclusive with, Bigfoot on there, that was what caught my eye because he is real, he exists, and I'm going to spread that to everybody. So that's all I've got for you guys today. We've got multi-tools, we've got flashlights, we've got watches, we've got pocket knives, and we've got some fixed blades. So make sure, if you still have any last minute shopping to do, check out some of these items. Like I said, I will put some links in the description. All of these I would definitely recommend. They're all good quality tools that are going to get the job done for that EDC person in your life. So that's all I've got today. Thank you all for watching. Have a great Christmas, a happy new year, and I will see you in the next one.